So next one, guys, Paramilitary. Spyderco Paramilitary, like I said, for me, one of the best knives for the money you can buy. And I think the fact of how hard they are to find in stock in the stores, even though it's not some kind of sprint run, it's actually a very common knife. And I think that's a proof of its own, you know. While back, you know, I think the why also is because a lot of people that like knives and they love using them, they realize that it is actually worth to spend, you know, a little more money on the knife, you know, a little more than $30, $40, $50 on a knife. You pay $100, but you really get the really, you know, very good quality knife, good steel, better materials, better construction and everything, you know, better knife. And I think a lot of people realize that, so that's why you don't see, you know, so many people raving about Tenacious's and stuff like that, but about Paramilitaries, because it is an excellent knife. Now, I had many of these. I think I had 4 or 5, I think, at this point. I had the sprint run also. The only ones I kept is my first one. This one I got a while back from a buddy. I think B Dan was his thing. I'm not even sure. Not B Dan, sorry, B Dan, the Beat Up or something like that. I don't think even he makes YouTube videos anymore. But I got this one back for a really good price. It was when they were fairly new. And I love this one. You can see this thing is used and abused and rusted actually. There you go, you know, even S30V can rust. I don't baby knives, you know, sometimes I actually kind of neglect them because they get used and I don't even clean them, but you know, it depends. Some knives you really care about, I do clean them and everything, but sometimes you just forget, you know, and it happens. This one was resharpened multiple times. Still actually pretty decent. This one has a convex edge on it, and it's excellent knife, you know, very light for how big it is, very comfortable handle for me. I've seen people modify the handle. I personally, I would never do that. It fits perfectly for my hand. I like the up close, you know, kind of like a choke up grip. Spydercos are good knives, and the original stock version, it's actually nice and thin. You know, you have a very comfortable handle and very slimline, so it doesn't, you know, it isn't too thick in the pocket. I actually prefer thinner knives as a folding knives. And you have a couple different handle materials to pick from. At this point you have plenty of sprint runs with even more colors available, and there's also a lot of different knife customizers that can get you a new handles, because people learn how to make them, and you know, you can really have them customized to whatever you like. Spyderco's S30V is excellent, it works great. Never had any problem with the S30V. There was problems back then when the steel was really new, just like, you know, you see some companies having problems now with the LMAX. But S30V at this point, you know, all the companies have not even heat treatment, but the working process. You know, the workers are used to work with the steel, so they know how hard they can push and all that stuff. So definitely great knife. You have the actually decent stock. They are thin, you know, nice and thin behind the edge, ground nice and flat. That's actually what you're gonna see on a lot of my knives, flat grinds. That's what I prefer, you know, with from the company. It's gonna be flat ground, and there's some that are hollow grind, but those are the more expensive customs. But most of the time when it's production or mid-tech, for me to really love it and enjoy using it, it's gotta be flat ground, because that's, you know, that's the second best after convex for me. So I definitely recommend it, you know, it's $100 to $110. I personally would not recommend paying, you know, some rip-off prices that you see sometimes when somebody gets it on stock and they try to sell it for $200. It's just like, I don't know, it's normal at this point, you know, it's like you know the reality of the knife market and knife prices on the secondary market. But I just think it's silly, you know. They will come, you know, they will make them again. It's not like they discontinued them. They will be there, so might as well wait, you know, a couple of months or a couple of weeks or whatever, and they're gonna be back in stock everywhere and everybody can get them. But I think that the fact that how quickly they fly off the shelf just shows you what a great knife it is. I've never heard anybody not loving Paramilitary 2 once they got it. It's an excellent knife. So, gonna move to the next one.